springtime is the time I always like to do the cleansing because everything is coming out, growing again. It's a really good time to clean out the garbage, and you do accumulate stuff when you're at home in the winter. You're not moving as much. You're eating more, so you clean out the temple, the house, in springtime to prepare for the even more activity of the summer and the autumn. So the seasons are a good way to balance the energy of detox.
And do you have an example of whether there's practices that or themes that you reintroduce when you get to springtime, and maybe an example of what you would love to see everyone listening if they are walking that they are in that world that opens up. There's some suggestions of how they can start putting feeling into their springtime calendar, non-Gregorian, nature-based calendar. What kind of how many days? Maybe a suggestion of perhaps a fast. Perhaps it includes this. What they would include. We don't have to go into the full shebang. I'm hoping that you're eventually going to start doing retreats again, so I can come along and learn from you directly. And I'm sure the book maps it out a lot. But just maybe a taster of the way that would form into a long-term protocol or practice.
Well, it depends on how long you've been doing it. At some point, someone who's coming out of a really bad diet and a lot of emotional stress and toxicity and everything, a 7-day fast with some colonic irrigation is a really good way to start, but it's more intense. But there's other ways of making it easier. You can do just a fresh juice fast, more focusing on the green leafy vegetables and maybe a bit of beet and carrot or whatever, and have nothing but that. And then and even without colonic irrigation, which just completely freaks some people out, the whole idea of putting 20 liters of warm water with coffee in it up your colon. It's better to have someone professional do it unless you are really accustomed to doing it yourself. But you can still take the cleansing. The psyllium seed is fantastic. Psyllium husk is a seed from India, Pakistan area. It's been used for centuries, thousands of years. And you take that every day. You can't be eating a lot of food then, so you just take juice. And you can pick juices that are cleansing. Now there's a juice that cleanses the kidneys and the liver. And so the juice takes care of that and dumps all the toxins into the bloodstream, and the bloodstream, gets into the bowel. And then you take the psyllium seed 3-4 times a day, and bentonite clay, and all it is a drink. And you do that. You just eliminate food, cooked food, solid food, and you just, you have to give up some of your favorite things. No ice cream, no steak. But in that case, it's more gentle because you don't go through such an intensive detox when you just stop eating and do a real fast. So much stuff comes out so fast, like the third or fourth day, you're feeling just totally exhausted. And there's other ways of fasting too. There's what's called intermittent fasting, whereby you have you pick your own hour, but you take like anywhere from 6 to 8 hour window when you do all your eating. And then the rest of the time you don't eat. After you have that's what we call breakfast, break fast. You're fasting at night. So 12 hours without food just starts the detox process going on a cellular level. So if you go 18 hours and do all your eating in a 6-hour window, then your body has not only hit the detox button, but it's had 6 hours to start processing and do cellular detox and to eliminate garbage from your system. And so you are in a detox mode. And if you do this every day, if that's just the way you eat, which means not taking breakfast, or you could have breakfast and lunch and then stop eating at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't matter what the hours are, but you need to do at least 12 hours plus a few. So anyway, 16 to 18 hours without eating. And it's not hard. People just have habits, but to adjust to that is not difficult. In fact, it makes the food you do eat even more tasty. We don't need to
It's a
eat. We don't need to eat 3 to 5 meals a day. You know, in primitive societies, people sometimes didn't have any food. They couldn't find any. The hunting and gathering sort of cultures would go for days without food, and certainly they only ate once or twice a day. Um, so it's really a mindset to understand how the body works, and basically you're trying to clean up the garbage, the accumulated garbage, so that you don't become an attraction to bacteria, viruses, and fungus. All of those are anaerobic. They have no, then they like an acid environment. So what's really causing the problem is the garbage. It's not the germs.